Okay, thought note, April 28th, 4:30ish. So I'm thinking about uniqueness. And are you unique? Well, hell yeah, we are all unique. I think down to our DNA, right? There's not an exact copy of you, and I think, well, unless you have an identical twin, but other than that, we still are unique in temperament, and we're still unique, personality and thoughts and wiring, and so I think everyone can contribute in their own unique way. So finding ways to pool your interests and your unique passions and thoughts and using them will, I think, help the world. And more importantly for you, I think it will increase confidence. You increase confidence because you know what you're saying is coming from you. You are staying in integrity, right? So ways you can quickly pull your uniqueness are number one. I think a really cool way of doing it is to connect the dots of your past, of things you've been consistently obsessed with. So things that just always have come up in your thoughts over and over again, things you've fantasized about, things you've read about, things you have loved in movies or in conversations or stories, right? And so, for instance, the first thing that comes to my mind is music and expressing music on stage. And I always fantasized that since I was a kid, on and off. It never stopped, right? As my life changed, I would just always think about playing music and singing and writing songs and expressing that. And so that has been a big part of my life. And so thank God I listened to that a little bit, right? A second way of finding uniqueness is, a second way is pulling from stories and experiences that you have into today's thoughts, right? So, for instance, this is what made me think about it a little bit today. Is I had a conversation with my housemate out in front of the house, in the hot sun, which I advise everyone during this time is to get at least a half hour of sun if you can, if not more. We were talking about all the people on the front lines of this pandemic, the medical workers and the doctors and the nurses, and thank God and bless them. And we also started talking about teachers, and we were also talking about why they're not getting enough back probably during this. They're not getting supported as I think they should be. And we were trying to come up with cool ways to support them. And so I've been in finance in my past life, and I thought, and I tried to combine our current conversation of giving back to teachers and finance, and also being in San Francisco and always getting a percentage of a company or advisor fee or whatever it might be. And so what came to my mind is, what about this? This is probably really difficult to put into play, but what if patients or students can give future equity or positivity, in some sense, their own future lives, a percentage back to the teachers that have helped them, right? So if like a student graduated and they're like, oh, Mrs. Anderson really helped me. I'd love to give 3% of a 10-year period in my future earnings, or whatever. It doesn't have to be money, it can be anything. Anyway, the point is, I thought that was a unique idea, and what I did was I took some past experiences and I put it into the now conversation, rather than just trying to Google ideas or something. A third way is a kind of a weirder way, is your dreams at night, or any weird thoughts or visions or fantasies or anything that you have in your mind. You can pull those and journal them, right? So God knows where dreams comes from, but you can journal that, or you can write ideas, you can write thoughts, you can write stories, you can write, no matter how twisted or how some of them are going to be terrible, and some are going to be crazy, and some are going to be scary, and some are going to be great. And so journaling's really big to find out what keeps coming up in your thoughts. But dreams, the stuff you saw, like the other night I saw this house with a bunch of windows. It kind of looked like one of those cartoon houses where fire trucks would come in and save everybody in the cartoon. They each have a ladder to a window that's open. And it just came to my mind of, hey, what if everyone on my street could hang out in their window, and someone can walk down the street during quarantine and somehow have some kind of interaction with them or party, or it was just an idea that came to my mind. some parade that's all in social distancing manner. So just coming up with these things and finding out what you can come up with rather than always trying to go to Google first when you have a problem solving situation. But you are unique, use it, and it's going to create a lot of attraction, and it's also going to help you understand what you are attracted to.